Friends and fellow devotees of the Lord, namaskars to every one of you. Not unoften have I heard the words, they keep ringing in my ears. Learn just one word, forget all else. Let your heart be pure, all else you have learnt matters little. Friends, we spend so much time reading books of all kinds, books of our special interest, books to update our professional knowledge, books for entertainment, and so on. But books have their limitations. I say this advisedly, for I too am a book lover. Still, I do not hesitate to tell you that book learning is at best limited learning. True, we acquire knowledge from books, but it is abstract knowledge arising from dry words. We acquire knowledge, but all knowledge is not wisdom. And the reading of books does not always cleanse the heart and the mind. The volumes of words we read ultimately becomes a burden which we are unable to carry. In one of our ancient scriptures, a comparison is drawn between a man who is a great scholar and a donkey bearing a load of sandalwood. A scholar may have read hundreds of books, he may have gathered extensive knowledge, but if this knowledge cannot be transformed into wisdom and translated into deeds of daily living, then he is little better than a donkey carrying a bag of sandalwood on his back, unaware of its fragrance and value. There are scholars who are continuously engaged in the pursuit of knowledge, but alas, their learning only makes them proud and egoistic. This is not true learning. Vidya dadati vinayam. True knowledge teaches us humility. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to purify our hearts, our inner instruments. Only then may we find the grace to witness the light. This illumination of the soul is true wisdom. Reading scriptures, memorizing them, or reciting them before others is neither wisdom nor true knowledge. Memorizing verses from the Gita, Gurbani, or Santabani and discussing it with others is not spiritual wisdom. It is merely an intellectual activity. What matters is that we imbibe the spirit of the scriptures and make an effort to bear witness to what we have learned in deeds of daily living. We see the light. We are illumined only when we put into practice all that we have learned from the sacred scriptures. This way we purify ourselves. The illumination we seek, the wisdom that is beyond books, this vision of light then comes to us naturally. It is an automatic process. If wisdom could be acquired through books, then our professors and teachers will be the most enlightened souls amongst us. But as I have said to you, illumination or enlightenment does not come from the dry words of books. History tells us of many enlightened souls who were totally illiterate. They could not even write their own name. Take the example of Sant Kabir. He was a weaver who worked on a loom, but he was an illumined soul. He was illiterate, but he was enlightened. He dwelt in the light, and the light dwelt within him. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa was illiterate, but he was a great saint. He was an evolved soul. Even university professors thronged to hear his discourses. They recognized that his intuitive wisdom was above their book learning. Wisdom is not of the books. Wisdom is light. It is illumination. Unless we have had a glimpse of the inextinguishable light that is within each one of us, we do not become men and women of wisdom, even though we may have read a whole library of books. To get that vision of illuminating light, there are other ways which we can follow. We must cultivate sympathy. We must go to the satsang, enjoy the company of holy ones. We must serve mankind without any expectation or thought of return. We must protect the birds and animals. We must protect the weak against exploitation. Better than all this is to create an urge, a thirst and a longing for that light. This longing should be deep and intense, like that of the gopis for Krishna. If we can evoke such deep yearning for the Lord, then purification will be easy and our goal will be within reach. Do you know how our mothers used to wash heavily soiled clothes? They would soak the clothes in water first to get rid of all the surface dirt. They would then wash the same in detergent, putting it through a second and third wash to remove the stubborn stains. Today we have high-tech washing machines which have special programs for heavily soiled clothes. Even then, there are some clothes which cannot be washed to our satisfaction. Some stains remain, and you decide to send the clothes for dry cleaning. Imagine our condition. We have accumulated the dirt and evil muck of many previous births. It is not easy to wash them away. There are no washing machines that can cleanse our interiors. Yearning for the Lord can accomplish this task. Call it thirst, call it longing. Translate it into love, bhakti. It means the same. Bhakti is important. Without bhakti, it becomes increasingly difficult to reach the goal. There is an interesting story that I would like to share with you in this regard. Sant Farid once visited a city where his discourses and teachings captivated the hearts of all seekers. Many people flocked to see him, hear him, and get his blessings. Among them was a young man who fell at the saint's feet and said, "Please help me see the face of the beloved. Please help me commune with Allah, for my heart is smitten with longing for the Lord." Sant Farid smiled at the young man and asked him, "Have you ever fallen in love? Do you know about the experience of ishq, which has enslaved a million hearts?" "Alas, no," the young man replied. "Till now I have never experienced that strange emotion you speak of." "In that case," Farid said, "I suggest that you fall in love. Fall in love with someone, learn the ways of love, and then come back to me. I will show you how you may realize God." So determined was the young man to realize God that he set about following the saint's command. He walked the streets of the city, but he saw no one with whom he could fall in love. As he wandered throughout the city, he happened to cross the palace gates. Glancing at the upper story, he saw a beautiful girl standing near a window. "Here is the girl I was looking for," he said to himself. "I shall fall in love with her. I shall gain the experience of love that the saint spoke to me of."